Let's learn how we can use Messaging Center to send messages in various formats to students and or staff. Various means such as the program itself, so when a student or a staff member signs in, you can deliver a message to them. You can do it via email or through text messaging. Okay, so I'm here in Communications and I'm going to click Setup. So if we want to set up for emailing, you need to have your mail server set up. So this would be your college mail server. You could use a Gmail server if you'd like. But you put in the information. This is the source. So the email would be coming from whoever you put here in sender name, and then you do need a valid sender email address. You could use a password or not if it's required for outgoing messaging, secure socket layer if you use that or not. So your IT would have that information for you. Once you do that, you can test your email settings. And if it sends successfully, that means it's happy with the information you have here. You can also view your mail log. So here's a test message that went out to my consult at engineering. So it will go to, the test message will go to whatever the sender email address is. So if I go look here in Outlook, I have a test message that was sent to my consultant Engineerica email. So I know my email is set up and ready to go. For text messaging, same kind of thing. If you use Skype, you just click Skype and it should be ready to go. If you click Nexmo service, they'll ask information. You'll sign up at nexmo.com, and this is the recommended server, by the way. They'll give you a key, a secret, and a from phone number, and then you can enable text messaging down here, so send text messages. Phone number, so your cell phone number. Now you want to use a 1 for that, so 1 area code and number. Once you test the cell, it'll send a test message to your text. Okay, so now that I have both of those set up, let's look at communications for a second. Back in AccuSQL, AccuTrack's the same way. And then I have Communications Messaging Center. So this is how I deliver messages to various people. If I want to send it to a select student or group of students, I can click Students here and pick the students I'd like to send the message to. Once I do that, I click Apply Filter, and now I'm sending a message to those 3 students. If I want to send to a specific student group, I can do so. So I'll go Student Groups, and then I want to send it to my former military, for example. I click that and Apply Filter. So this is every one of my students that's former military in this database. I can uncheck students completely and then send to tutors if I'd like, tutors or staff members. Pick the ones I'd like. Apply Filter. I can do combinations, so send to the following tutors and to my former military. Apply. So now that's all my staff that I'd selected and my former military student group. You can do it based on students who have signed into activities. So show me students that have signed into advising, for example. Apply Filter. So those are the students that have signed into any selected advising activities as I've specified here. Okay, so there's various ways that you can filter who you want to send the information to. Now let's go pick a student here that has that email, consult email, and there they go. Okay, so now I'll go back to Messaging Center, and I know which student I'm going to test with now. So I'll go pick that student. And I'm just going to tab over here and go by ID and just start typing it. That takes me right to it. And then Apply Filter. So now I'm sending a message to just that one student. Here's the subject. And you can put a sender if you'd like. Okay, so there's my message, and now I have different delivery formats. I can deliver it through AccuSQL. If I do that, when the student signs in, they'll get the message, and I'll show you that. I can deliver it via email, so when the student, or when it's sent, excuse me, it goes directly to that student's entered email address in their student record. I can do both, which I think I'll do for this example. That would deliver through AccuSQL and email, or I can send a text message. Now, by the way, I'm messaging here as an administrator. I'm on the back end of the software. A student doesn't have the capacity to use text messaging just because we don't. There's, I think, a half-cent charge per text message, so we don't want them to abuse that. Okay, so now I'm going to use both, and I'm going to send this message now to David Arlington. That message is sent, so we'll close here, and I should be getting an email shortly. So here's the text of message, here's the message. So it went to Consultant Engineerica, but that would be the student email. I go back to my sign-in screen and sign in with that student ID. And I had another message too, but there's my message that I just sent. I can delete that or exit it, delete that one too, and then I would go about my sign-in process. Okay, for text messaging, oh, and by the way, here's Messaging Center from the main screen, so this is what a student can do to message. And you'll also notice that I can pick students or tutors. Now I can turn off the student's ability to message other students. That's a setting on the back end where they would only message a tutor. And I can show you that when we go back in as admin. Okay, and again, I can't use text messaging, but I can use either AccuSQL or email to deliver the message to my staff member in this case. So I'll use AccuSQL. So the message is sent. Now if I sign in as that staff member, then it pops open the message. So Cindy, in this case, is seeing the message from student David and then goes about her sign-in as a staff member. Okay, so let's go back in as admin. Now if I go to sign-in setup right here, then I'm going to click the Setup tab. Right here under Welcome Screen Options, I have an option here that says students can only message tutors. So when I click that button and then go back and try to message as a student back from the main screen Messaging Center, now you can see I have a student's option that I can't click. You can't see that, but I'm trying to click students and I can't. But all I see is my tutor list. So that disables the student's ability to message other students. Okay, so that's how you can use Messaging Center to communicate with staff and or students.